my own two hands. I met friends on the way, people chosen to make a stand. I felt strong in the sun as I walked onto pastures green. Saw forgiveness together as spaces in between. And I'll be with you through the night. And I'll turn every wrong to right. Baby, we're children of summer, we're meant to be free. Hearted, we're not like the others, no reason to be. And my ventures, they brought me to places I've never been. But you can walk through this world with
Well, hello. Welcome back to the DeVore Wild Am. Was that not DeVore Wild Fam, not Am? Was that not the longest intro in the world? Okay, so it's Wednesday morning, and usually on Wednesday mornings, Kennedy, my youngest, who is autistic, has occupational speech and occupational therapy and speech therapy, but I canceled it for today because her first grade class was going on a field trip to the park, to this really cool park, and I didn't want her to miss that. So I have my coffee with my Golden Girls cup, and I just thought I would chat for a minute. When I made the collab with Kate, I went back and obviously I watched her video, and I really touched on homemaking as why I stay home with my kids. But I wanted to touch on the other stuff of what I do for myself to stay sane, because it is a hard job, as I mentioned before. I have 7 kids, 6 living at home. The oldest at home is 15. Then I have a 14-year-old, an almost 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And I do have kids with special needs. My youngest is autistic and has a brain disorder. And then I have some kids with really high anxiety and some mood disorders, so it can be challenging. What I do for myself, besides the obvious with coffee every morning. Okay, teenagers are hard. This is what I'm learning, because I feel new to this. It's like 1 minute they're sweet children, and the next minute they wake up. It's like it happens overnight, and it's like teenage angst and moodiness and the eye rolling and the attitude. It's like it happens overnight. So what I am learning is that I'm only human. I am a person too, and if I let them, they will walk all over me. It's just a given. I'm sure if my parents had let me, I would have walked all over them at that age. I do think it is different this day and age with social media. They just have access to so many things right at their fingertips, which could be a good thing, but it's also a very bad thing. So it's trying to find that happy medium that's challenging. Because even though I only have one kid with the cell phone who her grandmother pays for it, you know, we have tablets and they have the school Chromebooks. They can still hear stuff at school or get on their friends' phones. It's difficult. So it's really finding that happy medium, keeping gaming time. We don't have like a PlayStation or any kind of video games. My kids do occasionally play Roblox, keeping that to a minimum, TV to a minimum. I try really hard. I'm not too strict on really what they watch. It's more just like how much they are watching. I've also learned to keep my sanity, that, like I said, I'm only human. I can do what I can do, and I can be there for them, and I can listen to them, and I can try to understand what they're going through if they choose to talk to me. And most of the time they do try to talk to me, but I can just teach them my morals and me and Adam's values, and try to raise them right to be kind and considerate and responsible human beings, and encourage them and try to motivate them. But at the end of the day, they're still going to make their own choices. And that's like a big thing that I had to come to terms with. So if they make an irresponsible choice or a bad decision, I have to stop putting that on myself. Like, I have to stop thinking, oh my gosh, that's a reflection of me and Adam, because it's not. Me and Adam are good parents. We're not out doing drugs and out partying and drinking, and we are present for our kids. So I have realized that I can only do so much, but at the end of the day, if they decide to make a wrong decision or a bad choice or whatever the case may be, I have to realize it's not a reflection of me. It's just life, and hopefully they learn from those mistakes. That, just telling myself that when things get hard with the teenagers, telling myself that lets me breathe a little bit easier and kind of brings my own anxiety down. Like, okay, I've done what I can. If they still choose to act this way or do this, they'll have to pay the consequences and hopefully learn from their mistakes. And really, that's all we can do. Another thing that I try to do for myself is I walk. Now that if you've been following my vlog for a while, you know that I will walk even when it's 10 below. I like to walk. So I walk with my friend usually in the mornings, but now that the weather is warmer, I like to take evening walks just by myself because I can put my music on, and the evening walks are my favorite. I mean, I love chatting with my friend, but evening walks are my favorite because it's just me time. I can just listen to my music, I can decompress, and it's just all about me and nature, and just it's very peaceful. So usually in the warmer months, because we are in Idaho, so it's cold here, I'll usually get about 6 miles a day. That's usually my exercise. I don't go to a gym or anything like that. Sometimes I do yoga. I get on yoga kicks where I do really good, and I do yoga every morning, and then I slack. It's been one of those slacking 2 months that I haven't done it, so I should get back into it because that does help relieve stress for me, and plus it stretches my muscles. Another thing I do is I try to journal every day. I just write my thoughts down. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't need to make sense. I just sit there, just write whatever comes to my mind. I put down pen and paper, and I've done that since 4th grade. And I have all my journals too. I've kept them all. Another thing I like to do is write poetry or short stories, or I have a couple novels that I've written that I don't know how to do publishing or what to do with them, so they just kind of sit there. But I also enjoy playing the piano and singing. Don't do it as much as I did when I was before kids, but I do enjoy that. Yesterday, here's a perfect example. Yesterday I felt really, really tired, and I don't know why. I was like, I just want to sit down and eat a popsicle and watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy, and I hardly ever do that during the day. But my husband was off early yesterday. He was out mowing the lawn. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this, and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it because I've had to train my mind to that it's okay to take breaks. So I took my shoes off, sat up on my bed, had a popsicle, watched one episode of Grey's Anatomy, and it's like it recharged me. I felt so much better. Like sometimes I just need that quiet. I love to read, so if I'm not too tired at night, I will read books. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I like anything mystery or thriller. Those are my favorites. I also love the classics like Jane Austen and East of Eden. Just reading those classics, like that's very soothing to me also, with a cup of tea at night. So I have things that I do for myself. Once in a while, I'll go to Walmart and buy some candles, or maybe a cute shirt for myself at the thrift store, or honestly, sometimes I'll go to Starbucks. I have videos where I'm holding Starbucks, and even if it's not in the budget, even if it's not frugal, sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes you just need a Starbucks or a Dutch Bros or whatever coffee place that's by you. I've even been known to drive over to the frozen yogurt place and get myself a small frozen yogurt just as a little treat for myself. Do I do it all the time? No, but sometimes it's important. It's important. Another thing that me and Adam try to do is date nights. We try to have one at least twice a month. Sometimes we have date night inside, which means we might just order Subway or cook something here and then eat it in our bedroom. A couple times the kids have acted as waiters and like served us dinner. They've like set up a table in our room, and it was really cute. And then if we go out, we will share a meal. We have it down to a science. We'll like share an appetizer and get a side salad. And he has a couple drinks. I don't drink, so I'll just get a soda. And we just talk, and usually we'll go take a walk at the waterfalls. There's like huge falls by our house, or the Japanese friendship garden, or just sometimes our dates are just going to Starbucks and sitting there and having a cup of coffee and staring at each other. We don't do movies too much, because for me, like date night, I want to connect with him, and going to the movies, you're not really connecting. And I do enjoy the movies, and we have done that. The movie theaters just reopened, but when I really want to connect with my husband, it's not usually a movie. It's going out to eat, or going to get a cup of coffee, or taking a walk together. Or we have bikes. Sometimes we like to go on a bike ride to a really nice park and then just sit there and chat, have a picnic or something. It's been almost a year since we did that for our last anniversary. Our anniversary, that speaking of date nights, that is coming up, and my in-laws are coming at the end of the month. Or beginning of next month, sorry. Our anniversary, let me back up here goes my brain. Our anniversary is May 30th. We will be married 12 years, 11 years? I don't even know. A long time. Okay, so then my in-laws are coming at the beginning of June, and they're going to be taking 3 of my kids back to Northern California for a few weeks. Well, they're getting a hotel room, and so my mother-in-law suggested, because we were going to rent, what do you call it? We were going to book a hotel room while they were here so we could stay overnight somewhere. And my mother-in-law said if we couldn't find anything, because we've been not having good luck with like, the nice places with the jacuzzis and stuff in the room, that we could just use their hotel room for a night, which we might just do, because then it would be paid for. I mean, it's not the funnest hotel, but it would still be a night away from the kids. So I don't know. We were trying to get this, it's called the Destinations Inn here in town. That's got like theme rooms and stuff with jacuzzis, and they deliver, strawberries and champagne, and it is kind of pricey. We did budget for it, so I have that money set aside, but they're booked. There's like nothing available. We waited too long to try to book it. But we have not had an overnight stay together in 4 years. So we're due, it's time. So those are things that I do for myself to keep myself sane. I think the most important thing is just realizing that I'm human. Yes, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, but I'm also me. I'm also Rebecca, or as my family likes to call me, Becky. You can choose, I go by either. And I just have to stay true to myself. I like to do things that bring me joy. In the warmer months, I like wearing bracelets and the beads and all the colors, and I just like bright things. And I like a tidy house makes my brain feel better too. Like, I don't like things out of place. So I realize with 6 kids, it doesn't always stay this way. So I really try to stay on top of it. But again, if there's messes or clutter, it is what it is. I mean, it can't be perfect, and people come over. I mean, I don't think anybody comes over and is like judging me. Here's a perfect example. Yesterday, one of the kids at CBRS workers came over, and they were waiting on my daughter to get her stuff. And she's sitting here, and my other daughter picked up one of the cloth napkins, one of these, and she was like, oh, see, like this, like, this is food, but the other one had boogers stuck to it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She's like, girl, she's like, I don't care. I raised 4 kids. It's all good. But so that's what I mean. Like, I used to get really like paranoid. Oh, people are coming over. I have to have the house perfect. I have to clean out the cupboards. And like, nobody cares. Like, especially people that have kids. Even if they don't have kids, I have 6 kids. Like, you come over here, there's bound to be messes. I'm gonna be honest, I do still struggle with that. I still like to clean before company comes, but it can't be perfect. There's no such thing. So I'm human. I do what I can, raising kids is a tough job, but it's also the most rewarding job there is. And I wouldn't change it for the world. So those are the things that I do to keep me happy and to keep my sanity. And the number one thing that I do is pray. Every morning, every night, I just pray that you just give me strength, give me wisdom, help me get through the day, help me make good choices in life, be a good role model for my children, be a good wife to my husband, and really that's all we can do. So I think that's it. I think that covers everything. I've got dinner in the crock pot. I showed you my yard because my husband mowed yesterday and I thought it looked really, really pretty outside. I have got more laundry to hang up, and as soon as I finish my cup of coffee, I'm gonna text my friend and say, hey, you ready for that walk? And that's my morning. All right, guys, make sure you guys leave a comment. I love reading your comments, and we do have snail mail, so if you choose to send us a letter, we will try to write you back. So I hope everybody has a great day, and chicken tendies.